Morning.
Good
I'm
morning, sir.
Mm, Gayatri ma'am, like you, you joined the session in the right? Gayatri ma'am, am I audible to you?
Yes, sir. I am.
Okay, ma'am.
Sorry, I couldn't attend because of some personal emergency yesterday.
Okay, that's okay. Hope everything is fine.
Yeah, it's better.
No, sir, you're from where? New Jersey, no?
You're asking me?
No, sir. You're from New York, right? Or
No, I'm
California?
from Atlanta. Atlanta.
Oh, okay. Vishnu, sir. Some other, there was one more person I forgot. His name. He was there from New Jersey, United States. Yes, Vishnu, sir. Because Sai Kiran sir is from Hyderabad, right? Sir, Sai Kiran sir, you're from Hyderabad, right? Yes, my voice is not audible. Or is it audible?
think your voice is not clear. It's breaking.
It's breaking. Okay, hold on.
Mhm.
Now, now is it audible?
Yes, it's clear now.
You are from New Jersey, right?
No. I'm from Hyderabad, but I'm working in Delhi.
Okay, you're working in Delhi. Okay, Salman sir, you're
Yes.
from US, right? Okay, I guess maybe. All right. So you're from Hyderabad.
Yes.
And Sai Kiran sir, you're also from Hyderabad, right? Okay, all right. Gayatri ma'am, you're from? Because I know these three people because they were there from the day one.
I am from Guntur, sir.
Okay, you're from Guntur. Okay. So, like yesterday, it was your first day. Let's start. So yesterday we are done with the variables. How do we declare a variable? How do we initialize a variable? Right? How do you initialize a variable? When you assign a value to a variable, that is called an initialization. Right? Okay.
Sir, I just got off work as well, so I have not been able to see yesterday's class. I'll just follow up today, and then I'll watch the demo of
Sure,
yesterday as well, and then try to catch up.
sure. But do not miss it out. Why? The reason because see everything is interrelated. First session is related to second to third, and so on so forth. Okay. So if
Sure,
there's a recording, you can have a link of recording and you can watch it. If there's any question, you can ask it in tomorrow's session. Okay.
sure.
Yes. Let's start with the next topic today. We are going to learn about the different types of operators. Let me share my screen. Mhm. Is my screen visible? Yes.
Yes, it's visible now.
Open notebook. Open. Mm, okay, that's all right. We are done with the variables, right? This is called initialization. When you assign a value to a variable, right? This is called an initialization. What is called a variable definition? When you just declare a variable, right? When you just write a variable, for example, when you just write a variable, what is generative? I don't want the AI. Want to write my own code. So when you just write a variable, declare a variable, right? This is called as the definition of variable, defining a variable. Okay, that is called the definition of a variable. And when you assign a value, that is called the initialization of a variable. So that is the difference between initialization and a defining of a variable. When you just write a variable, this is like A, you call as you are trying to define a variable. And when you assign a value to it, it is called as a defining initialization of a variable. Okay. So today what we are going to do is that we are going to start with the operators, different types of operators that we are going to use to perform different kind of operations. So there are different kind of operators like arithmetic operators, logical operators, conditional operators. But now first we are going to learn is the arithmetic operators. So let me try to you what are the different types of arithmetic operators. So first is there are seven types of arithmetic operators. First four are the basic one that we learned during our school days for the mathematical calculation. Those are addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So everyone is aware about how do we add, subtract, multiply, and divide. Yes or no? Right? This is all the basic operation that we are going to start from first, and then we are moving to head ahead head ahead into this rest of three. Those are modulus, exponent, and floor division. One by one, let's explore. Let's see what we how do we perform the operation. So do not worry what is modulus, what is exponent, and what is floor division. First, at least let's start and have a grip on the four basic operations. That is addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Right. So everyone has done a mathematical calculation. Yes or no? Add, subtract, multiply, divide. Have you ever guys performed, tried to do mathematical calculation during your school days? Yes or no?
Yes, yes,
Math is a
Yes, sir.
such a subject I don't understand. Math is a subject, such a subject that will never leave your back. It's like a Vetal, right? Have you heard the story of King Vikram and the post Vetal, right? Vetal always stuck is always on the back of King Vikramaditya. It's the same thing. Maths, if you're born in this world as a human, you cannot keep maths out of your life. Always some or other way it's going to haunt your life, right? So let's see how do we perform mathematical operations. So let's define a variable, right? I told you when you define a variable and when you initialize a variable, what happens is that this is the best way to use this code, right? How? Because if I want to use this 10 somewhere else, so I can just call this variable called as A. So when I use this variable A, this way, this is called as a calling of A, right? Or you can try print A. This is like calling a variable. So when I call this variable, so what happens is that the value which is assigned to this A is always displayed on the console screen, or that is the variable whatever the value we have used, we can use it to perform any kind of an operation. Because if I do not use this variable A is equal to 10 and I want to use this variable value as a 10, so every time I have to write this 10 wherever I require, so that is going to be very hectic, right? The best way is what if you want to use that line of a code, everyone in your page or in your software, what you do is that use a variable. So what happens is that as soon as I use this define initialize the value or the line of a code with a variable, what happens is that instead of writing that entire code or using that entire value, what I can do is that I can just use the variable. What I can do is just use the variable. So what happens is that when I call this variable, the value is automatically being called. Right, see, E is equal to 10. Now suppose if I write 200, right, see, I'm just calling the variable. As soon as I call the variable, whatever the line of code is there, it is being called. That's the best way. Okay, so let's see. Let me define and initialize two variables. A is equal to 200 and B is equal to 100. Right? So what first operator is called as addition. So how we are going to do is that A plus B, right? So this is what we are trying to add. If there are different data types, I told you yesterday, if it was a different data type, right, you will get a type error. Suppose A is 200 and B is ABCD, or suppose hello, right? And if I try to add, I'll show it to you first. Let's run this code and just tell me what will be the output. If I try to add left operand with the right operand, left operand is A, right operand is B, A is equal to 200 and B is equal to 100. What will be the output? What will be the output? The output will be 300, right?
300.
200 plus 100 is equals to 300, right? Now, in the same way, if I write A is equal to 200, right? I write A is equal to 100, B is equal to, B is equal to hello. B is equal to hello. Now, if I try to print A plus B, now you tell me what will be the output. Before I run, I want to know from the audience that what will be the output. See, A is equal to 200, B is equal to 100. The output is the sum of it. It is 300. Now, what will be the output?
I think it
It
throws
will
an error
generate
because
a type error.
Ah, it will generate a type error, right? It will throw an error saying that type error, it cannot support the type for plus that is int and string. This is an integer and this is a string. So you cannot add two different types. Neither it cannot concatenate, neither it can add. So now suppose if I use the third one method, let's see. Now let's use x is equals to welcome, right? And I will use y is equal to Python plus. And if I print sorry, x plus y, now you tell me what output will it generate. Now tell me what output it will generate. It will generate
It should still give an
welcome
error.
to Python, right? It will
Yeah.
generate welcome to Python class. Why? Because this is a string data type that is text format, and this is also a text format. That means what? It is of same data type. X holds the same text, the Y holds the text, right? That is a string data type. And that is why both holds the same data type, and that is why the output was concatenation. Or output was not sum. Happens only in the case of when the data type is integer, right? And when the data type is text, that is called as a string, it concatenates two different strings. Right? Now suppose if I use z is equals to dot, right? Now here if I use plus z, now do you tell me what will be the output? Now tell me what will be the output. Can I add three different operands together? Yes or no? One the answer is yes or no.
Yes.
Yes, right? Because see, this is also a string
String.
data type, right? How? I'll tell you later on. Okay. Right. Got it? So how do you perform a plus operation, right? When the data type is of integer, it performs sum, and the data type is of text, we perform the concatenation, right? Next operator is minus, right? Next operator is minus. So now A is equals to the same. So if I perform print A plus B, right? It's here only, I'll write here only. It's better for it. So I'll print A minus B. So you tell me what will be the output. Output will be 200 minus 100 is 100. Oh, yes. Why did it throw an error?
Because we defined B separately as hello or something.
No. Why it shows an error, I'll tell you. Because previously, right, see, this code was run, right? We run this code. Then we did run this code. See, this is a arbo block. Then I use the same no variables a and b, and then I used x y z, right? And then I what happened is that instead of going ahead and down, what I did is that I came back here, right? But when I did run a code, this was the value of a and b what was being stored. This was the value of a and b that was being stored, right? I didn't use this variable. So what I had to do is that I had to run this code line of a code. So now what happened is that the value whatever was on the right hand side was been assigned to left hand side, that is A and B. And then when I used A minus B, then there was a subtraction of 200 minus 100. But it clear? Is it clear what happened? I did run this code, then I did run this code, then I will run this code and this way, right? What happened is that when after this code, I used this code, right? I did run this code, and this has a different data type. That what happened is that this software, that's IDE, thought not thought, this IDE was holding A as 200 and B was holding as hello. That is of similar data type. So we cannot perform any operations on a different data type, and that is why it was shown it through an error. See, look at it. So once again, I'll run this code, and again I'll run this code. Now see, it will again throw an error. Got it? Now see, I'll run upload code, and now let me run A minus. Clear? Got it? Yes. What happened? Yes or no? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Great. Thank you. So next is, let's see how do we perform a mathematical operation. All right. Print A into B. Now you tell me what will be the output. Print A into B. Like 200 into 100, that is like 20,000. So the output will be, I guess, 20,000, right? So the output is 20,000. Now, this multiplication we are able to perform, right? We are able to perform on integers, right? Now tell me, let's see, can we perform the mathematical operation on the string? Now instead of using the value, what I'll do is that I'll try this hello something hello over here, hello world. Right? What I'll do is that I'll type hello world and I'll multiply this 10 times. What I'm doing is I'm trying to multiply this time with the and integer, right? See, this is what I'm trying to do, multiplication. So forget of the operand. See, this is for an operand, right? A is an operand, B is an operand. So left hand side operand here till here was a number data type, right? It was an integer. Now what I did is that this left operand is a text and the right operand is a number, that is a string format into the integer format. But look at the operand. That is what we are trying to learn. That is multiplication. So now let's see that you need to tell me that multiplication will apply on this print function. Yes or no? Right. It was applied for the same data type. See, look at it. It was applied for the same data type. But when the data type was different, it didn't get applied. Right. So let's see, will it be applied on the different data type? Yes or no? Will it be applied on a different data type? One is text and one is integer. Tell me, will this hello world be printed? Yes or no? What do you think? Just make a guess. Right, wrong, leave it up to the end results. Will it be able to print?
Yes.
Yes. So what it will do is that it will print hello world 10 times. What it will do is that it will print hello world 10 times. So what is the use of multiplication operator? Yeah, whatever you're trying to have an operand, right? Whatever you're trying to have an operand on the left hand side has to multiply with the right operand that many times. What is the use of multiplication operator? Whatever is on the left hand side, try to multiply with the right hand side. So it doesn't have anything to do with the operand data type. That it is an integer, it is a float, it is a string. It doesn't no worry about anything. So that is why, see, look at it. Hello world one, right? Hello world two, three, four, five, six. Okay. Here you are not able to see. So what I'll do is that I'll use here backslash n. So what happens is that you'll be able to see. See, now what happens is that backslash n means what? Backslash n means a new line. What I did is that if I do not use backslash, prints on a same line. It prints on a same line, but I don't want it on the same line. I want to break it, right? Once I print the one hello world, break it to the new line, then print the second hello world, break it, then third. See, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, and 10. So we did print hello world 10 times, right? Similarly, if we use print, print, right? Any floating number, right? We use any floating number, like 20, like suppose 45.7 into 20. So it will generate an output. What is 45.7 into 20? That is 914.0. That is the output of it. Even it will work on floating point.
So what happens if you change the position? Times 10 multiplied by hello world, move it to right.
This one,
No, no. So normal multiplication, the positioning of that operator should not change matter. But let's say if you
Yes.
move
No,
10 multiplied,
no. It will not multiply 10 times. It will not multiply. Why? Because the number is what 10. Then how do we have a number? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 8, right? 10. Because this is a string, right? This is not an increment. This is not an increment. So if I change this into, no, if I swap this on the right hand side and if I keep left hand side on 10, it will not print. It will not print the hello world 10 times. It will not print. If you want to change, see. First, see, 10 is a numeric data type, right? That knows that what is the operation of it. It will perform, but it will not perform 10 times. Do you think will it perform or it will not perform?
no,
Why will it perform or not? Will it perform or not? It has to perform or not? Yes or no? See, if you multiply on the right hand side, that is okay. If you not perform on the left hand side, will it perform yes or no?
no.
Will it
By
perform
the
or
rule of
yes or no?
mathematics, no. By rule of mathematics, it should perform. That's where my, but I don't know that.
Yes. Here, why did it perform? What happened is that because on the left hand side, you are using this operand, right? Operand on 10. If you look at it, this data type is different. This is a text. That is why it multiplied with the 10. But if you use of the this way, what is it? This way. It will multiply 15 with 1475 if you use this above. But here this different type was different. That is why it got printed. Got it? What is the
Yeah.
use of operator? What is the use of operator? Just try to multiply. Just try to multiply. Hold on. Multiply. Multiply this left hand operand with the right operand. But how happens is that when you would try to multiply an operation, always left hand operand is always multiplied with the right hand operand. But only in the case of multiplication, only in the case of multiplication, what is going to happen is that it is going to multiply. But in the case of addition and subtraction, it is not going to get added, neither be subtracted. Only with the multiplication, what is going to happen is that it is going to perform a multiplication. Okay,
Sure.
clear?
Thanks.
Yes. Now, last one is division, right? Last one is division. So now instead of what I'll do is that instead of doing A divided B, I'll use A is equals to was 500. A is equal to 500 and B is equals to 1000. Right. And instead of A minus B, now what I'll do is that C is equals to A minus B. Right. C is equal to A minus B. Now you tell me like it's like right. What we are trying to do is that let me use instead of 500, I'll use 5,000 over here. So you tell me, right, what we are trying to do is that we are trying to divide 5,000 divided by 10, sorry, 1,000. So what will be the output? If I divide 5,000 by 1,000, the output should be 5, right? Yes or no? The output should be 5, right? Let me comment this part. How do we comment? By using hashtag, shift 3, there is a hashtag symbol over there. My laptop is HP, so my function is this way shift and then I click on three. On the three number doesn't hashtag, so that is what how do you this is how you comment, right? You guys using hashtag. Okay, 5,000 divided by 1,000, the output is 5. Now you tell me what will be the output if I click on C. If I print C or if I just tap on C, what will be the output? The output has to be 5. So even if you are not using, even if you are not using this 5,000 by 10 1,000, still you are able to generate an output that whatever the output will be there. Reason why? Because you are trying to initialize, right? When you are trying to learn a variable, so I told you that you can initialize the variables also directly to the new variable. Instead of C, we can also write a result over here. Whatever best fits for your understanding. This is a result. This is a result. Got it? So if I print result, right? So this way, either this way you can just write the result or it you can print it. And what happens is that if you use a Jupyter notebook, You use Jupyter Notebook. If you just write on the no, variable name, it will not create an output. But in Colab, you can just type the variable name, it will generate an output. But in Jupyter, it will not. You have to use the string function, and then and when only the whatever is in the no, in this parenthesis, it will generate an output. But in Colab, what happens is that even if you do not use the print function, it will still generate an output this way. 5.0, right? 5.0. So it will perform a uh, division. Now we are coming to this important, the last three modulus, exponent, and floor division. First, I'll start with the floor division. Once we are done with the division, we'll start with the floor division. Look at the difference between this floor division and this division. Okay, watch out the difference between floor division and division. So I'll use the same one. So if I use print, right, print A //B. We are trying to understand the difference between a division. So this is a division. This is the division. Division, and this is a floor division. What is the difference between a division and floor division? So what happens is that when you divide, right, when you divide a number, you get a number in a float. Okay, you get a number in a float. But when you divide the number, it is using a float division. First, see what will happen is that I'll tell you, right? See, the same output of the same output. It's 5,000 divided by 1,000. The same input. Look at the difference and tell me. Look at the same. It's the same input. I didn't change the input, right? Output. Look at the output. Can anyone tell me what is the difference between the input output? The input is same. The input is same, but the output is different. Can anyone tell me what is the difference between this division and the floor division? What is the difference in the output? This is an output. This is also 5, and this is also 5. What is the difference between this output and this output? The input was same.
It's a
Yes.
whole
What
number.
is the difference? Right. Okay. This is a whole number, and
An integer, decimal.
this is also what? This is also a whole number.
Float
Okay. This is a
value.
decimal number. Okay. If you look at you observe closely, you can see this is a float. This is a float, and this is an integer. Right? So what happens is that when you use a division, so I'll change this input and then it will be very much clear. Now instead of 50, what I'll do is that I'll use some the other number called as 35, and I'll use here called as 8. Right? Output has to be 4.3 something, right? 4.375. I'll print on the same one. Now look at the output. Now look at the output. Here, the output is 4.375, and here the output is 4. What happens is that when you perform a normal division, the exact output is generated. So what is being shown is a divisor, no, dividend, divisor, quotient, and remainder. Okay. So what is shown in the output is the quotient, right? Quotient, you understand that whatever is at the top, right? So it divides the entire number and it shows the output. Whatever it's clearly divisible. So it shows an output. That is what if you divide 35 by 8, see the exact output you get is 4.375. But what happens is that when you use the store division, it discards the number after the decimal. What is the use of the floor division? When you divide a number and it divides the no, it discards the number after the decimal. So whatever is there after the decimal point, it discards the number. That is why it shows only the real number, that is 4. It doesn't show the number that is after the point, that is the decimal point. It only shows the number that is on the left hand side of the decimal point. That is the use of floor division. It is used in a lot of things whenever you want to find an age, right? You get an age and you want to divide it by some number. So what you do is that if I use this, suppose this 35 was an age and you wanted to divide it by 8 for the mathematical calculation. So what the output was 4.375. So when you are talking about the age, you cannot speak in such a way. You don't tell, okay, my baby is 4 years, 4.375 years old. Or you do not say my age is like 33.55 years old. What you say is, okay, I'm 33 years old, I'm 40 years old, I'm 22 years old. So you just talk on the real numbers, that is on pure integers. You do not specify in points. In the same way, that is what it is used to get the full numbers. So whenever you're trying to perform some operation and you don't want the output in digits, so there in that case use a full floor division. And what floor division does is that it discards all the numbers after the decimal point. So wherever there is a decimal, so on the right hand side, the value has been discarded. Only the left hand side, that is a real number, that is an integer, is being considered. So this is the difference between division and floor division. Both shows an output which is a quotient, right? Quotient is at the top. With the number which we divide is called as a divisor, the which one is called as a dividend, the remainder is at the downside and quotient is at the top side, right? So the output is same. Here also the output is same. Only the thing is that the number after the decimal point is been discarded. So that is the difference between division and a lower division. Is it clear now? Division shows you the entire output. Division will show you your entire output, but floor division will only show you the real number. Got it? Only the number which is on the left hand side of the decimal point. The values after the point has been discarded. Clear? Yes. Okay. Clear till here? Next one is modulus, right? What let's see what is it? Is it modulus? Okay, yes. It's modulus and then is its exponent, right? Next is modulus. So what do you understand by modulus? What is modulus? Can anyone tell me what is modulus? Yes. What is modulus? See, first we did with addition, that is the symbol is plus. Then we did the subtraction, the symbol is minus. Then we did the multiplication, the symbol is asterisk. Then we did the division, the symbol is backslash. Then we did the floor division, that is double backslash. Now we are left with two different arithmetic operations. One is modulus and one is exponent, right? One is modulus and one is exponent. So can you tell me what is the difference between a modulus and what is not difference? What is modulus? Look at the
Absolute
symbol.
values.
The symbol is percentage. Right. It's an absolute value. So what the absolute means? Absolute means positive. Right. So let's perform a new one. Let me use the x value. X is equal to mm, let's see, use 30. Y is equals to uh, 20. Right. And let's have it in the C is equals to Z. Z is equals to x modulus of y. And if I put y. This is also you can initialize and define an initializer variable. Right? Instead of typing in print of C, why what happens is that C. If I use this x modulus of y directly over here, right? This x over the modulus of y. So if I want to use this x y modulus of y somewhere else, right? Somewhere else. So what I need to do is that in that place also I need to type on the same thing, x modulus of y. Now what I have done is that I have assigned it to variable called z. So whenever I want to perform x modulus of y, what I'll do is that next time I do not write this line of a code that is x modulus of y. Directly I'll call this variable, and as soon as I call this variable, what is going to happen is that it will generate a whatever the output is there, right? So whatever the x modulus of y, the output will be there. It will generate an output. So what is x modulus of y? What it does is that just a second, okay? Just a second. It's like, yes, tell me what does modulus does? first, as I said, why did I assign it to Z variable? The reason is that now this is one so right, this is one line of a code where I use X modulus of Y. It can happen in future as well. When I'm trying to do the coding, I would require X modulus of Y. So I cannot write the code X modulus of Y every time. So better the way is that whenever you're trying to write any code, assign it to the variable. See, you're not just looking from this is the best practice because we are just starting with the Python. We are going to move ahead with the data analysis. So then we are going to reach data science, machine learning, a lot of things. So when you're talking about the look at the bigger picture, at that time when the complexity is going to be tough, right? The line of coding is going to be huge. There are going to be a lot of multiple operations. So at that time, you cannot write the line of a code again and again, again and again. What you need to do is that you need to call the single variable to avoid the complexity. It looks like this is a small line of a code, but there is a lot of complexity in the coding. So just to avoid that complexity, see, instead of writing the huge line, what you can do is that you can just use one variable. So that is why best practice says that you always assign whatever the line of code to the variables wherever and whenever it's necessary. So what happens is that it reduces the time complexity and the space complexity as well, and the difficulty level of the coding. Right? So if you look at the output, what is it? 30 divided by 20. The output is what? Remainder. So what happens is that when you use this modulus, what modulus gives you the remainder, gives the remainder of the remainder of what? Remainder of the operation. So if I use instead of 30, if I use 300, right, and if I use 20, now you tell me if I divide 300 by 20, so what will be the output? What will be the output? Or if I use, let me tell me what will be the output? Tell me what will be the output?
0.
How? Because 300 is completely what? Divisible by 20, right? Now, suppose if I use another number, right? Suppose I use 55. So you tell me, like, till what number 50 can be divided? 20, right? Let's use 20 instead of 20. Let's go with the easy number that is 10 for the better understanding, right? X is 55 and now Y is 10, right? So what we are trying to do is that in the comment I'll write, what we are trying to divide is 55 divided, see this way, modulus of 10, not divide, till 10, right? So what we did is that during the division, right, what generated was a question, right? What was generated in the output was a question. Now look at the 55, right? And we were trying to modulus of 10. So how far can we divide 55? Till 50, right? And what is left is a 5. So the output will be 5. The output will be 5. As far as the number we can divide, that is the only thing we can do it over here. See, we are not using any floor division over here. So this is not a floor division, this is a remainder. If I divide 55 by 10, what happens is that I came and divide with 55, so I'm trying to divide by 10. It can be divided only, it can be divided till only 50, right? So the remainder is like 5. In the same way, I'll show you in paint, it will be very much clear. Are you able to see my paint? Are you able to
Yes.
see my paint? No? Okay. All right. So see, let's we explain you modulus part. So this is how I studied the mathematical division. This is way you used to write as well, or is it me only? This year I used to write the number which I have to divide. Is it the same case you studied, or is it me only? Yes or no? This is how you studied?
No, are you showing a
Yes or
different
no,
page?
guys? Ah, yes, yes. That's what I asked you. I'm trying to show you paint. I have
No, no, I'm
opened my
seeing
paint application. How many of them are able to see paint? Hello. Guys, are you able to see my paint option or is it not?
No, no, we're not able to see paints. I'm just seeing the Python screen.
Yeah, Python. What about the rest? Vishnu sir, Saikiran sir, or is it Salman sir only
Yes,
who was able to see? I didn't
I'm
understand.
able to
Yes.
see all
Oh,
this Python.
okay, hold on. And now what you're able to see.
Still the same.
Okay.
Yes.
This is how you used to write. We write this division, right? There's the symbol. Now what happens is that now 55, if I want to divide it by 10, right? How long I can divide? Till 50, right? So 10 5 is 50, right? I used to write 5 over here at the top. And this is a question. This is a divisor, right? This is a divisor and this is a dividend. This is a dividend. I sometimes get confused with the divisor and dividend. This is called as a dividend, 55. Why is it called as a divisor? You guys also get confused, I guess, then.
Yes, we have to go back and ask my son.
Yes or no? I get confused a lot. I sometimes get stuck. Is it called a division, a dividend or a divisor? So this is called a dividend. This is called as a dividend, which is 55, and this is called a divisor. Yes or no? So, Mansa, what do you think on it?
No,
It's like
that's
if I if I
just as well.
someday if I get a call from KBC and if I go and if this is a question for $1 billion question, I would definitely go for an audience call or some kind of a suggestion. Okay, all right. So this is what 5 minus 0 5 and 5 minus 5 0. Right. Now this is what an output we get. Now 5. Now we cannot divide 5, right? So what if it was a normal division? What we do is that we take over here 0 and we count over here point, right? We count over here point. Then again what 50 is divisible by 10? How? 10 5 is 50. Then it is 10 5 is 50. Again we get minus 50. This is a normal division. This is a normal division. And then we get an output called 0, right? Then we get an output called 0 0, right? And then if it was a normal division, so this is an our output that is 5.5. So if I use this way, if I use 55, 55, 55 divided by 10, 55 divided by 10, we get an output called 5.5. We get an output 5.5. Right. And it was floor division. If it was floor division, that point after discarded, the value of point is discarded, right? This has been discarded. The output is 5. But we are talking about modulus, right? We are talking about modulus, 55 modulus of 10, right? 55 modulus of 10. So what happens is that if I divide, so what is what the remainder, right? Once again, let me write over here. I'm trying to divide 55 divided by 10. So how long I can divide? I can divide till 50, right? So that is what I divided by 50. So 5 minus 0, 5, and 5 minus 5 is equal to 0, right? So this is out what I get an output. You cannot divide the number further. Whatever the remainder you get, that is the output in the case of modulus. And now the output is 5. Now you got it. What happens when you use a modular? You get the remainder of it. Clear? Is it clear now? Yes or no?
Yes.
This is
Yes,
what
sir.
better.
Yes, sir. It's correct.
Right. Okay, let me move
So,
to see my
question.
Python.
So, if I have to put a negative
Demo.
number, I just add a sign to that, or do I need to do some special?
Yes, we'll do it. We'll do it. Plus, let's understand what time we are trying to do with the modular symbol. Are you able to understand?
Yes.
Okay. Last, we are left with the last operator called as an exponent. Right? We are left with the exponent. See, addition, subtraction minus that is multiplication, then division, the modulus and floor division, right? What is the difference between a division? This can be asked in the interview. Please ask what is the difference between division and floor division. Division gives us the exact output, and floor division discards the output after the decimal point. Only the left hand side, whatever is the real integer that has been shown. Right? Modulus gives you the remainder as an output. Now, what's an exponent, right? The symbol is double asterisk. So, what is the difference between a multiplication and an exponent? This asked in the interview. So, let's look at the symbol. It's a double, right? E is equals to uh, 60 and B is equals to 2, right? So what happens is that if I use if I use C, right, is equal to A exponent or exponent of B. And what is the meaning of exponent? Exponent means to the power, to the power. So whatever will be the right hand operand, that is the power of it. So what I'm trying to do is that I'm trying to have a power of 60, right? 60 power of 2, 60 to the power of 2. So what will be the output? So 60 power of the 2, that is 60 square. This 3600. 6 the 36 and 0 double 6, right? So the same way instead of 60, if I use pi, what is the square of pi? It is 25. Got it? Instead of square, if I use 3, that is what it is. We are trying to have the cube of it. So 5 to the power of 3, that is 125. Got it? That is what exponent means, to the power of whatever the right hand operand. Whatever the will be there, here the b will be the operand on which will be the power of it. And e would be the number of which we are trying to find the power. So this is called as power of e to the power of b. Got it? The exponent means what? To the power, right? So you can have a square of it, you can have cube of it, you can have four of it, you can have five times of it, and six times, seven times, whatever you want. So on the left hand side, that e will always be the integer that you want to remove the power, and b will be the power of it. That is e to the power of. Here, what is an exponent? Exponent is the square of it. Got it? And see, normal, if you are use one single star, that means multiplication. Now the output will be 15. 5 3 is a 15. Okay, look at the difference. A star into B, and I'll use one more variable called C A star star B. And see, here will be the output. D is what? 125. And C what C is? C is 15. Clear? Got it? Print C. And then here above at the home, print D. This is the difference. This is the multiplication, and this is the squaring of number. So that is what 5 to the power of 3, the output is 125, and 5 into 3, the output is 15. This is the difference between a normal 1 star and 2 star. Where 2 star means exponent of a number. Yes. Now you ask me a question, like anyone was asking the question. Is it clear till here? Like how do we do the addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulus, exponent, and floor division? Got it? Yes. So someone was asking you a question. Yes, please shoot it. Hello.
Yes,
I
sir.
guess I'm not able to hear. Someone was asking a question. I was trying to explain the thing. Someone had a question.
Yeah.
I don't know
And I
who
was asking
was it.
for just adding a negative number to this variable. Should we can just add the sign, or does it need anything special to, like if I have to do -50 or something?
Okay, let's do it over here. So you're saying now, suppose if I take a variable called, uh, let's use first number, right? How do the Vishnu sir, how do we do this naming convention? Is it correct if I write this way, first number? Is it correct? Can I write the variable in this way? First number. Is it correct?
No, sir.
No, this is not correct. Right? Criteria, no. We need to use, we cannot have a space between two different words. Right? And you can tell me which is this case out of three cases of naming conventions, right? There is a camel case, there is a pastel case, and there is a snake case. Which of the three is it? It's a snake case. All the alphabets, all the letters in the variable are in smaller case, right? Okay. So let's come to this question of Salman sir. Right? This is first number is equal to -10, right? And you're saying second number. Second number is equals to 20, right? Let's have the full formula. -10, sorry. We have first number, right? Why do we use this? Technology has grown so much. Instead of typing, it gives us a suggestion in particular and intelligence. Is a good thing. So you don't have to write. See, sir, you're getting my point. It will perform the normal operation. It has to perform. So there is no problem. You need to use a real number. Real number that start with from one, right? You don't have to use only the real number that is starting from the one until infinity. You can also use the numbers which is no the negative numbers as well. But the only thing is that whatever the operation is there, it will perform the same operation, right? Instead of just plus, what we can do is that you can use minus. So what is minus 10 minus 20? My the output is minus 30. If I multiply with multiplication, right? If I use multiplication, so what is 10 into 20? That is 200, right? The only the thing is that there is a minus symbol over here. So minus always an weightage, so that is what minus 200. And if I use it in the division, no, well, let's flow division. You tell me, will it be divided or not? Will it be divided or not? I just want to ask you, is my screen visible to you or not? I don't understand. Hello. Yes, sir, you are there?
Are you asking me, sir?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, no, I got sir, the answer. The only thing was I was asking was to put negative symbol. Can we just declare it directly or not? So I already got my answer. Thank you.
Yes, you can declare. There's no hard and fast rule here that you can't use it. You can use it.
Sure, thanks.
Yeah, anyone else in the classroom? Any questions? Right, remember, sir, I didn't hear you. Or you are there in the classroom, or I'm not able to hear you. I don't know.
No questions, sir.
Okay. So still clear to here is the arithmetic operation, right? If I divide this minus 10 by 20, you tell me before we could wrap up for the day, you tell me if I divide by minus 10, the same input, right? Now here I'm trying to do a normal division, right? So forget about the symbol, we can use it, right? Divide by normal 20. What will be the output? What will be the output? The output will be minus what? 5 to minus point 0.5. Got it? The same way, if I divide modulus, if I divide with the modulus, what will be the output? Output will be the remainder. How long we can divide it is the output. So we cannot divide 10 with the 20, right? So we can do divided by 10. If I divide 20 by 10, the output will be 0. Right? Because why? 20 is totally divisible by 10. So 10 is not totally divisible by 20. How? And one second, I'll show it in the screen if you want. Let me show my paint over here. How did this scheme? I'll use new one. I'll show it to you. See, what we did is that first we divided by 10, right? 10. And the number divisor was 20, right? So we cannot divide by 10. What we did is that then it was if it was a normal division, we did is that we used 0, then we used here 0, right? Then we used point, and then we got a 0, and we got 10 over here, right? 10. And then what we did is that then we added point and then we used the 0 here. If it was a normal division, it was a normal division. But this is normal division. This is not a normal division. We are trying to use a modulus. And that is why the output was 10. Because in the modulus, you always get a remainder. It is not comparative with it. Whatever you get on the first hand as a remainder, that will be the output. Okay, clear? Okay, clear till here, everyone in the class?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what I'll do is that, okay, what today we are going to do is that, so we have done with the mathematical operation, so you're going to get 2, 3 questions to practice. So I'll share it for the practice, and I want you to complete that 2, 3 questions before tomorrow's session. Okay, clear? If you want, I'll just paste it over here as well. Later on, we don't know, in the chat box only. So everyone can just copy it and paste it into your notepad. Let me write it over here. I've shared it in the chat box. Look at it. So 3 questions. First is you need to find out the area of circle. Got it? The second one is you need to find out the circumference of circle. I've also written the formula. What is the area of circle? That is pi r square. Circumference of circle 2 pi r. So and third one is volume of cylinder. You can check in the chat box. There is a question I have shared it in the chat box. So, and the third one is volume of cylinder. What is the volume of cylinder? Pi r of square of r into h. That is the radius square and into h. And where pi is constant, right? That is 3.14. That is 22 by 7. So that is the value of pi. This is the 3 questions that you need to do. Area of circle, find the area of circle, circumference of circle, and volume of cylinder. Okay, got it? And there's one more question, and I want you to concatenate this one as well. One question, one more, this one. I want you to concatenate this name as well. Okay, and print it 5 times. And print it 5 times. Clear? Got the 4 questions. One is area of circle, circumference of circle, volume of cylinder. And the fourth question is the concatenation of 2 string and printing it 5 times. Okay? Clear? Everyone? Sai Kiran sir, Gayatri ma'am, Vishnu sir, or Salman sir.
Yes, sir.
Clear?
Clear.
Alright. Great. Then we'll stop the session over here and we will start with another topic with the next operator that total 6 operators. So today we are done with the arithmetic operation operator. We'll start with the next operator tomorrow. Okay, so we'll stop our session over here. And Salman sir, you can find the yesterday's recording and you can go through the study session. And if there is any question, you can ask me tomorrow. Okay,
Sure. Will do, sir. Thank you.
all right. So thank you so much for the session, guys. So let's wrap up. Okay, over and out. Thank you. Have a good time ahead, everyone. Have a good day. Bye bye.